Look at our Ultimatum 1.4 patch notes reading. The only thing I know before going into this is that they didn't nerf ED Contagion. Some people are really upset about it because apparently it's been good for too long. It's only meh, but whatever. All right. Let's have a look, shall we? We've got a nice big table of contents. I'm going to do what I always do, which is check how long it is by just doing this. Sweet baby Jesus. Oh my God. Really? Okie dokie, this is gonna be a long one. Before you get into it, what is the worst thing in the game that you want removed? Poison Sextant. Self-poison Sextant. It's bullshit. Shouldn't exist. Being able to do 100% delirious maps on a 12C budget on day 2 of a league shouldn't be a thing. That's... Alright. Let's go. So, beginning. The Ultimatum Challenge League. This is a great opportunity, blah, blah, blah. Same line as every time. So we already know this stuff. If you're successful, you must choose between rewards. In maps, you'll occasionally find inscribed ones. So these are things we already know, so we can skip over this. This is just how the league works. That's cool. I can zoom in one more time. That's about it. That's as large as I can get the text. Hope you all can read it. All right. Major/new content feature. All right. What do we got? So we're adding skill gems, adding skill gems. Adding skill gems, adding skill gems, adding skill gems, support gems. Okay, we don't need to read through those either. 13 new uniques and 14 divination cards. I wonder if we've got a full list of those somewhere. That'll be useful. But we're not going to go over all of these, I don't think. You gain the cruelty buff, which makes all supported skills deal 50% more damage over time based on the amount of damage in the initial hit. Yeah, we knew this was a thing. I'm being told Arrogance and Life Tap are worth reading. What's any skills with reservation? Skill reserve life instead of mana and have increased aura effect. Any existing blood magic gems will be converted. Yeah, so we knew this. We just get increased aura effect, which is cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we'll see full gem releases tomorrow, so we don't really need to go through that. I'm more interested in what actually changes. Right? Added various new league rewards such as Catalysts, Incubators, and Scarabs. Added 5 new Sextant modifiers which cause maps to in the associated Atlas region to get Blight, Delirious, Harvest, Heist, or Ritual. Harvest on a Scarab? So? On a Sextant, sorry? Harvest on a Sextant? Okay. Just Harvest is still kind of OP, guys. Still gonna be real powerful. That's nice. Continue to incrementally improve the sound, art, and affected environments. Sure. Atlas and map changes. Conquerors of the Atlas can now be accessed through the map. Conqueror of the Atlas encounters can now be accessed through a map item. When you have a Conqueror's Citadel ready to go, speak to Zana and you will open a map device interface with a map containing the Conqueror's Citadel already placed into the first slot. Currency can be applied to these maps in the same way as regular maps, and adding of fragments or scarabs alongside the map will enhance the map further. Item quantity will only increase the amount of rewards dropped by the Conqueror by 20% of its total value. Well, that's new. That's new. And interesting. Cool. Maven will now only witness encounters in the Uncharted Realm Atlas region for players that created the map. In the Uncharted Realm Atlas region. Does that mean only for the middle ones? Does that mean you can still witness the progression style stuff, getting up to 10 and things like that, but for all the like good ones, like Elder bosses, Shaper bosses, Feared Invitation, like all that sort of stuff, that won't be shared? Is that what they're saying? Okay. Well, that's kind of fine, because that doesn't fuck over the party, the like generic party play as much as I was worried that this was going to screw over party play. Like, that was a thing, right? I said that when they were like, you know, they'll only work for the map owner, and I'm like, man, that really screws up like legitimate parties, like really hard. But if you only do it to this bit, that's much better. So I'm okay with that. Awakening bonus objectives no longer provide additional chance to receive Atlas missions when completing a map, which I think is a bad change. I know that fully completing the map gave you almost unlimited dailies. If you did that and then also spec'd into them, you could daily every map. But I also think that was an okay reward for completely finishing your Atlas. Like, if you go to that much work. But okay. Reduces the chance for everything to spawn. Yeah, to 8% base. We know this. Cool. Reduces the chance for maps and areas to contain a delirium mirror by approximately 20%. The chance for Zana encounters give you delirium by the same amount. Zana is now half as likely to offer unique synthesis maps. Well, I saw about 4 of them on Zana a League with my playtime, so I guess now I see 2 and you see none? You couldn't even witness them, so I feel like those were okay. But okay, whatever. It's fine. Ritual altars can now be found once you reach maps with an 8% chance. Cool. Splinters will no longer be offered as a reward for ritual encounters in maps that have been opened by a blood-filled vessel. Okay. Added for Ritual Atlas passive nodes to the Hewlett Hamlet region, which grants bonus to ritual encounters. All right. Cool. Cool. Added 3 ritual watchdome modifiers that have various bonuses to the ritual encounter. Okay. Harvest changes. Unfortunately, the version of Harvest that was active during the Ritual League was far too rewarding. Who could have seen that coming? Everyone saw that coming. Various adjustments have been made to Harvest. Chance to encounter the Sacred Grove has been increased. Published a development manifesto, blah, blah, blah. Increased chance for maps in the area to contain the Sacred Grove by 60%. The chance to encounter Zana missions requiring you to complete a Harvest Grove has also been increased by the same amount. Now contain a minimum of 3 players of plots that can be harvested from. The Heart of the Grove encounter will no longer appear in place of the normal Harvest encounter. Instead, it can now be accessed through the Sacred Blossom map fragment that will sometimes drop from tier 4 Harvest bosses. Cool. Completing the Heart of the Grove encounter for the first time will unlock 5 extra Horde stations. Crafting slots. Allow you to store up to a maximum of 15. I like it. It could have gone higher than 15. Could have been an extra 10. Would have been okay with it. But I like it. I will now do the fight once, which is once more than I was ever intending on doing it. Yep, I'm good. I will now do that fight one time. It's now like Uberlab. You do it once because you have to. Right. Crafts are no longer guaranteed from seeds. Now seeds with tier 1, 2, and 3 have a chance to provide the crafts. Tier 4 still guarantee a craft. Blah, blah, blah. Yep, these are all things we already knew. I really like that though. Some crafts that had overly deterministic behavior have been removed. These include most annulment type crafts, crafts that remove modifiers from a specific type, and all type specific divine crafts. Cool. Cool. Type specific exalt crafts, crafts that augment an modifier of a specific type on an item, can now only be applied to non-influenced items. This does not apply to existing modifiers which apply to influenced modifier to an already influenced item. Right, so you'll be able to add an influenced modifier, but you won't be able to add a fire modifier. That's fine. Craft that added random atlas influence to a certain type of non-influenced items have been removed. That's interesting. Why? In their place, crafts that randomize the existing influence on an item while also reforging it with new modifiers have been added. Is that better? I feel like that's better. Also, what happens if it's double influenced? What happens if it's double influenced? Does it randomize both? I kind of hope so. That'd be cool. Rebalancing the weight of seeds so that you're seeing type specific crafts at a more equal rate. For example, cold, fire, and lightning. Weighting of crafts have also been rebalanced so that the more powerful crafts, such as exalted type crafts, are now rarer. Weaker crafts, such as set an item to 3 sockets, have been removed, making higher tier versions of these crafts more common. Cool. Cool. All right, I'm on board. I'm on board. Have they made the 6-link craft more common? Yes. But you know, twice as often as never is still not very often, so don't expect to see one, but it is more common. Perhaps less rare is a better way to describe that. General changes. We've been rebalancing league specific rewards that we're providing far more readily through other content, blah blah blah. So this is the thing they were talking about before, like Stygian Vices and Delirium Orbs are now exclusive to Delirium encounters, shit like that, which is fine. That's all good. That's all good. Now find Abyss Scarabs from various sources. Each Scarab guarantees an Abyss encounter with higher tier Scarabs containing additional Abyss encounters. And additional Abyss jewels from troves. An increased chance for Abyss in the area to lead to a depth encounter. Cool. Rare Abyssal jewels that drop from Abyssal troves. Now use the well-rolled modifier system. Ooh. The one they took away from talismans. I'm so confused. Do they want to use it or not? I'm so confused. Just put it back on talismans. Just put it back on talismans and get rid of the oil on talismans instead. Because we can now already anoint corrupted things. So we don't, that doesn't mean anything anymore. Anyway, don't worry, it's fine. We're moving on from that. We're moving on. We're reading. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Added several new Abyss modifiers. Various existing Abyss Jewel modifiers have been updated. Please read the Abyss Jewel ballot section information. Cool. Okay, whatever. All right. Blighted maps can now be corrupted with outcomes regular to similar maps. In these maps, you have a chance to drop tainted oils. Oh, so you have to run Valed blighted maps to get the tainted oils? Okay. All right. I knew we would have to do high tier content. I didn't realize it was going to have to be corrupted. But that's cool. All right, blighted maps now apply the map's item quantity modifier to blight chest count at 20% of the total value. That's the second time they've done that in this patch notes. They've never done that before. That's cool. I kind of like it. Various oil modifiers that affect blight maps have been updated. Please read the oil changes section for more information. You can now find blight scarabs from various sources. Each scarab guarantees a blight encounter in an area, with higher tier guaranteeing an additional blight boss. 50% chance for chests to contain additional rewards, or blight lanes to contain an additional reward. Okay, cool. Betrayal changes. Modifiers that are unveiled through Jun are now more powerful than before. Previously, when an item was unveiled, the veiled modifier added to the item would be equal to the highest tier modifier available from the crafting bench. Now, the modifier being unveiled no longer counts as a crafted modifier and will be stronger than any of the craftable veiled modifiers. Very cool. Very cool. You will still obtain and progress towards unlocking crafted versions of these veiled modifiers. However, progression towards unlocking the craft of these modifiers is now slightly faster, as many of the crafters had their worst tier removed. Look, slightly faster is not as good as you don't have to unveil anymore, which is what I'm personally after, but I'll take it. I'll take it. The weighting of veil modifiers has been rebalanced in a way that makes modifiers exclusive to one or two types of equipment more common, while modifiers that can appear in a wide range of equipment rarer. Okay, that'll help a lot too. We've improved the betrayal reward system so that slaying Mastermind is now more worthwhile. Okay, I've seen this like 19 times. I'll believe it when we actually start doing it. Now, if Mastermind is slaying her Immortal Syndicate members, drop their rewards one tier higher than their current tier. This is introduced to 4th tier. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, we don't have a list. We don't have a list here at all. That's fine. We'll get to a list. Right. Safe house leaders no longer lose rank when they're interrogated for mastermind intelligence. Kind of cool. Betrayal targets are now more likely to drop veiled items of their signature modifiers. Nice. Okay. Polished and gilded scarabs can now be obtained as rare dops when bargaining during a betrayal encounter. Cool. Scarabs can no longer be obtained from bargaining in an area under level 68. To be honest, I didn't even know that they could. Various craftable veiled modifiers have been rebalanced. Please read the crafted veil modifier balance section for more information. Okay, there's gonna be a lot of different sections. Added 10 new beast crafting recipe. Splitting has now been removed from the game and is now garbage. Fuck the 12 people who controlled that market. Party members. This is actually fucked. I can just... I'm aware of how big of an impact this is gonna have, and it's bigger than anything else I've read so far. This is huge. I can't wait to see what happens. We're all fucked. Party members that are not the map creator will now be required to be within 250 units, roughly 2 screen of the captured beasts, in order to add them to the menagerie. Oh, and fuck multi-boxes. Absolutely get screwed. Oh, oh, there's gonna be some people real upset about that. Breach changes. Blessing of Eshtal, Zolfil, blah blah blah. All of them can now upgrade their associated breach stone to the higher tier versions. Gonna make them actually worth something. Might make all the breach stones worth significantly more. So that'll be cool. That will be quite cool. Don't know what they're gonna do with it that fled. I'll be interested to see. Right, Delirium changes. Added and rebalanced various cluster jewel notables. Please read the cluster jewel balance section information. The quantity and rarity bonus applied to monsters from Delirium encounters has been lowered and is now more consistent across monster rarities. Previously, the monsters of normal rarity had a disproportionately larger amount of quantity and rarity being applied to them compared to monsters of higher rarities. I did not know that was a thing. Interesting. Delve changes. Delve have been rebalanced to make better rewards appear earlier and more frequently at shallow depths. Very deep depths no longer provide such an exponential increase to the rate of encounters of high tier rewards. I'd love to know what that is. Like what's very deep? Right? Well, what is that? Like, because I wouldn't call 800 deep. I would say that you have started delving at about 1,000. Like, that's when you start being a delver instead of someone who's entered the mine. So you're an actual delver past 1,000. Right? So like, I just want to know. I want to know what. I want to know when. When is that kicking in? Fractured fossils now apply the split modifier to both items. Items that cannot be split, such as a result, fractured fossils can no longer be applied to items that cannot be split, such as synthesis, enchanted, fractured, or influenced items. Are you kidding me? What am I even going to use fractured fossils on? Are those garbage now? I knew they were nerfing. That's they've, well, I hope. Okay, moving on. Six link bases, maybe. Delirium on a map is an enchant, yes. So you can't even single time fracture your map, your Delirium map. Forget about like fracture farming fractured maps. You can't even copy one map one time. Like, I don't. Yep. Yep. Cool. Hasn't changed. Various essences have been rebalanced. Please see the essence area. Cool. Split is still craftable. The original item will still be craftable. The one you make out of it won't be. Just like now. Right? Split is a new thing. I expect that the original item will still be craftable after that fact. Just in the normal method, you won't be able to split it again. I expect. Heist. The amount of experience required to level up rogues has been reduced by 20% per level. Still not going in. Still not doing it. Incursion changes. Elve can now convert your completed temple into an item. Fantastic. Made a lot of changes to the Temple of Atzuatl. As you may know, specific rooms in the Temple of Atzuatl can drop unique incursion items that can later be upgraded. Many of these unique items have been improved. Cool. Previously, the temple's boss, the Roomba, dropped random rare items with special incursion modifiers on them. Now it also drops rare items with incursion modifiers based on the themes of the room your temples contain. Which, for the love of God, should have been in Incursion League at the start. Why the fuck would it be any other way? Why would it be any other way? That's what we all assumed when Incursion started. And then it took us all collectively like a week and a half to realize that wasn't happening. I don't know why that wasn't always like that. All right. And there's a higher chance to drop vials related to that room. Having a higher tier room also causes more drops. Yep, cool. That's cool. So we'll get more vials as well. Sweet. Specific rooms now add specific monster packs to the temple, and temple modifiers have been improved, which will result in more monster density, challenge, and rewards. Temple modifiers have been improved so that if your temple has more higher tier rooms, then it will be comparable to a good map. We've also performed a modernization pass on the room rewards so that they're competitive with the newer leagues. Nice. 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 Explosion room now contains some basic chests that can be opened with flash powder kegs if you don't need them to open the path somewhere. Cool. Shrine of Empowerment in the room of Atzuatl now randomly empowers one connected room that is tier 2 or below and upgrades it by 1 tier. The Sanctity room now randomly empowers 2 connected rooms that are tier 2 or below and upgrades them by 1 tier each. Okay. I didn't think the Shrine of him. Okay, just sure. All right. Cool. The Table of Sacrifice and the Hall of Offering now allows you to sacrifice a unique item or another random unique item of the same item class. Sorry, what? The Table of Sacrifice in the Hall of Offering room now allows you to sacrifice a unique item for another random unique of the same item class. What? So it's tier 2? So what's tier 3 then? Leave the raid, Catmaster? So what's tier 3 then? Huh. Just upgrade. Okay. Alright. The monster kill progression bar in temple incursions has been updated slightly to make it easier to see if you have killed all the monsters in the incursion area. Cool. Whatever. Legion changes. There are new incubators. No one cares. They can drop abyssal scarabs. Cool. Expected. Cartography incubators can now drop Shaper and Elder influenced maps, as well as maps with delirium orbs applied to them, which we might not want to run anymore because it sounds like delirium's crap, but we'll see. Decadent incubator can no longer drop Parenthese League exclusive unique items and now drops Scarabs more often. Okay. Okay. Enchanted incubators can now drop items with enchants from the Eternal Lab. It already could? What? It can already. What are you talking about? Could it not? I'm sure it could. I've used hundreds of these. And I've got 20x enchants from the ground. I mean, I guess I never paid attention. I just paid attention to the price. Maybe there was just some expensive merc enchants that I've sold. honestly just always thought it could. Okay. Sure. Fragment incubators can now drop Offering of the Goddess and can no longer drop Pale Court fragments. Weird. Why not? Whatever. Foreboding incubators can now drop Harbinger Scarabs. Nice. Ancient Orbs can now only be dropped from foreboding incubators of level 68 and higher. That's fine. That's fine. Probably from legions. Oh, I probably got them off the ground from doing legion encounters instead. Right, that would make sense. I do never pay attention to where stuff comes from. I just click shiny colors. If it shows, it gets clicked, it goes into my tab. Maybe it's that. Maybe I picked up enchants from different areas, not from all the enchanting fossils I've used. Maybe. Or the enchanting incubators, rather. Maybe that's it. Who knows? Metamorph changes. Added an accelerating catalyst. Add quality that enhances speed modifiers on rings, amulets, and belts. Added an noxious catalyst, which adds quality that enhance physical and chaos damage modifiers. And added the unstable catalyst, which adds quality that enhances critical modifiers on rings, amulets, and belts. Does Assassin's Mark Curse have a critical tag? Just wondering. No? Okay then. Just a caster. Right. Boo. Minerals created in Sane's laboratory now deal 10% more damage and have 80% more health. But no more rewards. They just deal damage, slightly more damage, and take twice as long to kill, but are still not worth doing? Is that? And drop 100% more loot. Is there like a bit at the end here that's in the wrong color text? Did you forget? Guys, you forgot a line. These were already not worth doing. You just made them harder, but they're not worth doing. You have to buff the Sir. Ma'am? Okay, moving on. Moving on. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Parenthese Coins. Sources of Parenthese Coins have had their coin count normalized. The selection of items sold by Kadira has been modernized. And their costs have been adjusted accordingly. Vendors will no longer offer scroll fragments in exchange for Parenthese Coins. What the shit? What? Why? What? That's the most upsetting thing I've read so far. What the hell? What the actual hell? Welcome. GGG, do you hate my hands? They already hurt. Stop it. Stop it. Wisdom scrolls shouldn't even be a thing. I shouldn't ever have to pick up a wisdom scroll from the ground. There should be a little item in my inventory that's not in my inventory, but like in the inventory screen that I can press and then identify items with by just, you know, looking at them closely with my eyes. I should not even need to pick up a portal scroll, let alone take away ways for me to get massive amounts of portal scrolls. This is what I'm way too upset about that. Calm down, Baylor. They're just portal scrolls. You're just going to buy 20,000 of them and then not worry about it again. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Right. Fractured items no longer have a visual effect on them. Yeah, that's what we need. Please just leave the visual effect. What the fuck is the point of that? Talismans no longer exist. Hide them from day one again. Cool, move on. Labyrinth changes. Consuming an offering of the goddess in the map device now opens a portal to a random trial for the Eternal Lab. Trials opened this way will not award an offering of the goddess upon completion. There was a little bit of me that was like, I wonder if they remember to stop it from giving me a reward. Because that's like one of the things that could sometimes slide through, and then the first people to get there would just be like, I'm just gonna chain them until I'm done, and then they'd be done. And then, like, you know, 12 hours into the league, they'd be like, whoops, we forgot to do this, and then they take it away. That's exactly the kind of thing that would like slip through a little. So I did already have that on my list of things to test immediately. Right, anyway, interacting with the Divine Font will now display a window with available enchantments. For example, after completing the Eternal Labyrinth, a window will be displayed where you will have an option to pick up one of the 3 helmet enchants or enchant your boots or gloves. So that's a really cool one. I like that. I like it. Lab farming is going to be a real thing, and if that's something you've ever been interested in before, you'll be able to make a lot more money this league doing it. And please do, because I want to buy your helmets and I don't want to go do lab. Anyway, the Daily Labyrinth ladder has been retired. The Labyrinth unique jewel that was previously obtained by that one dude every single time is now gone and will exist as a reward from the chests at the end randomly. That one guy, get fucked. That one specific dude. Yeah, this patch notes so far have just been like, and fuck that guy, and fuck that guy, and fuck that guy, and fuck that guy, and then I got to that one, and then it's that one right there, that guy in particular, fuck him as well, make sure. This is great, I love it, but I'm just saying, everyone's getting, we're all getting it here. We're all getting it. Right, where was I? Right, we're here. Right. The lower thresholds, blah, blah, blah. So all the thresholds are 50%. Means a single 50% reservation will now put you in the low state. Light radius has been adjusted accordingly. I don't feel like light radius needs to be a thing. Didn't you say at the start of the patch notes the nerfs weren't targeted at specific people? I was wrong. I was wrong. That nerf was for one dude. I stand corrected. You're right. There was a nerf to one person in the patch notes. It's great. Let's go. The cost and reservation system for skills has been extensively reworked to add new options. Previously, all skills had either a mana cost or mana reservation with a limited number, affecting how to spend those, blah, blah, blah. Now, skills that have a cost, mana, life, or energy, and / or less common research, such as rage. Most modifiers that previously affected mana cost now just affect cost, and thus will apply to all cost values. Modifiers which still specifically refer to mana cost will now only modify the mana cost of a skill, not the other cost values. Similarly, there are now some modifiers that specifically modify only life cost. Val skills requiring souls to use is not a cost, and thus modifiers to cost will not apply to them. This has technically always been the case, but because that distinction didn't previously matter. Yep, okay, cool, whatever. So this will be interesting to play with. There'll be some interesting things to do with mines and how those miners will still be fine. That one exact particular way of doing that mine build won't work in exactly that way anymore, but you'll still be able to play a miner, just not that exact one, right? It'll still be fine. You'll still be able to play a miner, just not that one, right? It'll be fine. Unless they're even using Berserk. Yeah, it could be. I feel like I know quite enough about it to really know whether that's actually screwed or not. All right, percentage reservations now stored with more precision internally, allowing them to have up to 2 decimal places in the percentage value. However, the total amount of reservation must still be a whole number. This prevents some cases where small reductions in reservation values would have no effect due to rounding. As for an example, if a skill reserves 50% of mana and a modifier grants 1% reduced reservation, we'll now change the reservation to 49.5% mana, whereas previously it would still be 50% due to the changes not affecting the percentage numbers as a whole. This is huge. It will still not be possible to reserve less than 1 of something. So a player with 100 mana that has 49.5 reservation will still reserve 50. For a player with 1000 mana, it would have been 495. This is huge. This is a buff. Reserving life or mana no longer involves spending anything. So you don't need any current mana to turn on an aura. You just need enough of your mana orb to be unreserved that the aura's reservation would fit. However, while previous reservations were mutually exclusive with cost, this is no longer the case, and it is possible for a skill to have both a reservation and a cost, in which case the cost would still be required for spending. But using a reservation skill a second time to turn it off does not require playing the cost again. The most notable case of this is mine skills. These will all have a cost and a reservation, which both must be satisfied to use the skill, and each can be modified separately. This also means that the mechanics that added to the cost of skills, such as void-bringing unique gloves, will now affect skills with reservations which previously escaped this due to being unable to have both. Ooh. Likewise, support gems that add mana reservation to a skill, such as Blasphemy, no longer inherently remove the cost as part of the process. I feel like this will be fine. It's an adjustment for miners, but again, it'll be fine. Explain why it affects mines. So really quickly, what you could have done previously is use the Victario's chest. No, the reservation chest that Aura Stackers use to get 30% reduced reservation and reservation nodes on the tree and stuff like that, and you could get your mine cost down with just reservation and get your mines to cost like nothing. Mines would be free, but now mines will have a mana cost and a reservation cost, which will start equal. So if you weren't doing anything, it'll play exactly the same. But if you overstack on mana reservation, you'll still have a cost, an amount of mana you have to spend, and then a little bit that'll be reserved. So you'll have to invest both in minus mana and in reservation to get mines to be free again, if they even can be. It won't matter for most people, but super optimized builds will have to change. Stats which limit the total rate of recovery per second from leech have been changed. Previously, these limited any recovery based on what kind of leech it came from, but they now limit recovery of any leech based on what kind of recovery it is. This has no effect in cases where the kind of leech applies a different kind of recovery. For example, Keystone Immortal Ambition makes Life Leech cause Energy Shield recover instead of Leech. Previously, this was limited by maximum total life recovery per second leech. That recovery will now be limited to maximum total Energy Shield recovery leech. You need a PhD to understand this, but I do get it, but that's a real confusing sentence. But I get it, and it hurts, but I get it. Needing a PhD for Leech, nothing new. Yeah. Netrix, no, but I can later when we're done reading them. Right, modifiers that allow hexes. Oh, because it's up now. Modifiers to allow hexes to affect hexproof enemies, such as Cosprey's Will unique body armor, will no longer let your hexes to affect yourself while you have hexproof. You are not your own enemy. Quick TLDR of what this meant to do. This is the 4th time they've tried to nerf self-curse, so we'll see if it actually nerfs. But basically what this is going to mean is as soon as you kill something, if it works properly, as soon as you kill something that has hexproof, you become hexproof, and then your curses no longer apply to you because you're immune to them completely, and then all your headhunter stacks expire, and then you die because your character was built on headhunter stacks that are supposed to last for 80 seconds because of your temp chains, and now they don't. That's what it's supposed to do. No matter what they put in the patch notes, I'm going to wait until somebody tries it in game to find out whether it's good or not, because they failed to nerf it like 3 times already. So we'll see, but that's how it should work in theory. Corrupted Blood debuff has been updated. It now has a maximum stack size of 10 instead of 20. All right, cool. And is now consistently treated as being completely separate from bleeding. Various bleed specific modifiers that may have previously applied Corrupting Blood no longer apply. Modifiers that affect both bleeding and corrupted blood, such as the staunching modifier on flasks, that have the descriptions updated to reflect this change. Monsters that apply corrupting blood have been balanced around these changes accordingly. Corrupting blood applied by monster modifiers now have different values. These values are now calculated based on the monster's level rather than their main hand damage. The effect is which raised the monster attack damage no longer scales corrupting blood in unintuitive ways. Okay, so just a more expected amount of damage that we're all immune to at all times, because you have corrupting blood immunity on either a jewel or your flask all the time on every build forever. So that's fine. Call of Steel no longer has a cooldown. Previously 0.2 seconds. Increased character size is now capped at 100%. Oh, that is I knew they were going to cap it, but that's, I kind of expected it like 400 or 500%. Like, I thought it was still going to get relatively beefy, but no, that's okay. This should stop headhunter shenanigans from like, oh my god, I'm looking at one Combs root foot. So that's cool. All right, anger now grants slightly more damage to spells. This makes additional fire damage apply to attacks and spells at the same. Okay. Yeah, no, slightly more out of anger. Yeah, this thing really, if self-curse is actually dead the way it seems like they intend, was never going to happen anyways. It's fine. Divergent quality now causes the buff to grant 0.25% more spell damage per 1% quality. Previously 1%. And there's a big fuck you to spell builds using Berserk. Just one of the several angles we tackled that from all at once. Yikes. That's still worth using, I think. Yeah, like, it lost. Did it lose 75% of its spell damage? Sure. Still gonna put it on though. Still gonna put it on though. Still worth. Still worth. Fine. Blade Blast. There's lower damage from 20 to 17. And the higher end to 315 from 418 at gem level 20. And 10% less effectiveness. Blade Blast is still fine. Blade Blast slides through with barely any change. Blade Blast could have handled double that nerf and it still would have been good. It's still good. If you were planning on doing Blade Blast, do Blade Blast. It's fine. You probably won't even notice the difference. I mean, you might, depending on like how good you are, but that's fine. It's fine. I wonder why it slipped through. They didn't hit it very hard because this is exactly, at least this is my opinion. They didn't hit it very hard because this is exactly the kind of playstyles they're wanting to encourage. Active playstyles with different buttons. Not just a one button run through map playstyle, and an actual active one that requires setup and explosion, multi-buttoned builds. It's the kind of stuff they've been trying to encourage lately. So I suspect that's why it didn't get hit too hard. Blade Vortex now has a 4-second duration, previously 5, plus 2 radius instead of 4. Damage effectiveness of 20% instead of 25. And now deals 129 fizz damage instead of 151. Interestingly enough, I'm not sure that I think the same thing about Blade Vortex as I do about Blade Blast. As far as I'm concerned, Blade Vortex already required pretty damn good investment to be good enough because its damage was already shit and its area was already a bit meh, even when you were scaling it properly. And I know they've also like heavily nerfed the explode chest things, so like the big chains that were infinite are probably not happening either. And to reduce the duration and the radius and the damage on a skill that was already only just holding on because of its quality of life. I don't think it'll be garbage, but I think it's enough that I don't want to play it. I think it's enough that I don't want to play it now, like at all. I don't think I'll touch Blade Vortex this league because of that at all. Which is a little sad because it's like one of my favorite things to play, but I don't know. I probably won't touch it after that. I feel like just these two alone would have been good, and these were uncalled for. Alright. Blade Storm now deals more damage in Blade Stance. Flesh and Stone requiring 35% mana. Feels weird, but probably fine. Frostbomb is now 15 instead of 25. That's fine. General Cries Mirage Warrior now channel for a duration of 0.6 instead of 1. Okay. Punishment got a massive buff as far as I'm concerned. Like these numbers came down a little bit, but low life went up to 50%. And that feels like it's better now than it was. That feels better now than it was. That might actually be good. All right, next. Exerted attacks now deal 20% more damage. Per previous exerted attack by this Warcry was previously 30, so a little bit of a nerf there. Spellslinger no longer supports skills granted by items. No, why? Why? Can't you just... Why? That hurts. Replica telepathy now worthless. Replica telepathy now worthless. Also, Cold Dot Slinger heavily nerfed. Super heavily nerfed. Oh, okay. Moving on. Or the Golem's Cascade skill now has a 6-second cooldown from 4, travels a shorter distance, and has less area. Summoned carrying golems now deal approximately 11% less damage at all gem levels. They can take the damage, but do 6-second cooldown instead of 4. Are you kidding me? I feel like I don't want to play golems at all now. That's they can the damage nerf is fine. They could take it. This 6-second cooldown is pretty big. Clear's gonna be pretty garbage. I'm gonna have to play that to find out, but I feel like that's gonna hurt a lot and I'm not gonna enjoy it. This 6-second thing is pretty huge. That 6-second thing is pretty huge. Toxic Rain. The spread range of spore pods from toxic range is now affected by area modifiers. This means that having higher area effect causes the resulting pods to spread out more. The base spread range of the spore pods has also been slightly lowered. Each spore pod now supports 5% movement speed to nearby enemies, previously 10%, up to a maximum of 30, previously 60. Well, that's kind of fucked. Did they just like kill Toxic Rain's single target in that line? It feels like they just almost murdered single target Toxic Rain. Not in the early game processing, but in like proper end game stuff. Yeah, most of your normal builds is not going to be super impacted by this. But your like super min-maxed really good Toxic Rains are going to do significantly less damage no matter how you scale them. You will have to change probably into using Conk and things like that, and you'll still be able to get an okay amount of damage out of them. But your like min-maxed endgame Toxic Rainer got significantly weaker. This will not affect leveling. If anything, it's gonna make leveling damage like at the beginning actually better. The base spread range of the spore pods has been slightly lowered. If anything, the early damage is better but your like top end is come down. So I guess I'm okay with it. Yeah, overall it's better for anyone except like the super min-maxed ones. The super min-max ones have definitely taken a pretty decent hit there. But everyone else, Vigilant Strike no longer grants increased Fortify duration. Now grants Fortify on melee hit for 6 seconds at gem level 1, up to 11.7 seconds at gem level 20. Quality no longer increases the fortify duration. Quality now grants fortify for 0 to 2 seconds on melee hit. So it can be 13.7 seconds instead. I'm really sorry that they've targeted this is a big fuck you to the 22 people still playing hardcore. We didn't bother to actually use Vigilant Strike and softcore even when I had the ability to use it. I don't care, but the 25 poor hardcore players just getting their defenses just fucking stepped on. Just I don't know. I guess it's hardcore's time for a big fuck you. Everyone's getting fucked. Top to bottom, everyone's getting fucked. This is great. Oh, okay. You remember using it in hardcore? I do remember using it in hardcore. Right, vitality. 10 life per second at level 1 instead of 15. 193.2 at gem level 20 instead of 247. So this feels like a mistake because vitality for its cost at level 20 felt okay. It didn't even really feel that strong. It feels like it didn't really need an end nerf. What vitality was busted at was when you put it on and during leveling. Like it was busted strong. Like this is right at this end. But I feel like the level 20 version was fine. Right? That's weird. All right, Wave of Conviction now has more damage effectiveness, just a little bit. Exposure's now 15% instead of 25. Now deals more base damage, an okay amount more base damage. What is that, like 10%, something like that? No one was ever using it for damage, raw damage anyway. Might change up the leveling meta slightly. That might change up the like speed leveling meta slightly actually, with more damage effectiveness and more raw damage into it. We might go back to like spamming Wave of Conviction at enemies instead of throwing traps inside Orb of Storms, right? That might be a thing. Not saying it is, just it might be a thing. All right. File skill balance. Val skill gems can only be obtained from set specific methods such as Val side areas, divination cards that specify Val gems, and the lens in the Temple of Atsuatl. Damaging unique enemies now grants 6 souls instead of 3. Yeah, so twice as many. Yep, cool. No specific skills. Val Arc no longer causes modifiers to buff duration to also apply to the skill's soul gain prevention. Nice. Now has a cast time of 0.7 instead of 0.8. Nice. Now has a soul gain prevention duration of 2 seconds, previously 6. Nice. Nice. Okay. Blade Vortex. Damage down just to mix. Just to meet Blade Vortex. Added damage effectiveness to 60 instead of 75. Now hits enemies every 0.2 seconds instead of 0.13. Now has a base duration of 5 seconds. Previously 3, so it lasts a lot longer. Okay. Alright. One of our skills has been edited, says he corrupts. Oh, yeah. 2 charges, but it lasts longer and does less damage. Or less DPS. But probably about the same damage overall, but there's 2 charges of it. Yeah, okay. I'm cool with that. All right. Val Blight, soul gain prevention down to 70. Burning Arrow uses 15 souls instead of 20. Can store 4 uses instead and only has a 1 second cooldown. Cool. Val Cold Snap. This one was already really good. Wait, Val Cold Snap's hit damage has been increased? By a really good amount. Yo! And its damage over time by an okay amount. Now has an added damage effectiveness of 350%. Now has a base hit radius of 32. Hello? 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 Okay. Yeah. Okay, all right, let's keep going. That's exciting. Val Cold Snap, let's go. All right, Val Cyclone now deals 80% instead of 50, up to 99% instead of 61, less attack speed, 25 souls instead of 35 souls. Doesn't Val Cyclone still lock you in place though? Like, can't you like not move while using Val Cyclone? Like all so far Val Cyclone is still worthless. Nothing changed with that. Okay, cool. Right. Val Earthquake, more damage, 85% of base instead of 71. Ongoing effect now ends after 9 aftershocks instead of 7, and the soul cane prevention is 9 seconds instead of 12. Val Earthquake actually kind of pog if you're into that sort of thing. Val Firebolt's just got a soul gain prevention. Val Flame Blast has just got a little bit more damage. Oh, and a base radius of 45 instead of 35. Now is -2 to radius at each stage, previously -1. Okay. And 3 second soul prevention instead of 6. Is it quite a bit more damage? And a decent amount more radius on the first one that still goes into the same amount in the last hit. So that's not bad. Alright. Val Ground Slam. This attack can now be exerted as though it was not a Val skill. Oh. Now deal 250% instead of 190, up to 400% base damage. Used to be 300%. Now stores 4 uses instead of 3 and has a soul gain prevention of 1 second instead of 2. Val Ground Slam pog. All right. Okay. I mean, if I had money to bet, I'd bet this is what Steel's starting now. I don't have any money, so I'm not making that bet, but I would. All right. Val Ice Nova now deals more damage, up to a fucking lot more damage, has a faster cast time, better damage effectiveness, stores 2 charges instead of 1, and only has a 2 second cooldown. Oh, Val Ice Nova, my friend. Oh, hello, baby. Oh, hello, baby. Oh, I'm gonna be playing me a Val Ice Nova. Okay. Val Lightning Strike. Up to 130% instead of 98. That's pretty good. Now has a base duration of 6 instead of 8. Stores 2 charges, 8 second cooldown instead of 10. Okay. Val Lightning Trap now deals significantly more fucking damage with way more, 250% damage effectiveness. Okay. And a soul gain prevention of 4 seconds. Okay. Yo, what the fuck? Val Rain of Arrows now fires 27 arrows at gem level 1 instead of 17, up to 33 arrows at level 20 from 21. Now fires 4 additional sequences of arrows instead of 3. Hi Rain of Arrows. Okay. Now all we need is for bows not to be complete trash from head to toe, so that I can actually use them, because bows are one of my favorite archetypes to play, but I haven't been able to in ages because they're shit. You guys remember that one bow rework league? Anyway, Val Reeve, 250% instead of 180. Okay. 25 souls instead of 35. Can now store 3 charges. 2-second cooldown instead of 4 for soul prevention. That's fine. Val Righteous Fire now deals much less fire damage per second. Now sacrifices twice as much of your life and energy shield as it did before, to grant a third less damage. Right, so because it's sacrificing twice as much, it's going to deal slightly more damage. That's a lot though. 60% is a lot. That's a lot. I'm not saying I won't still use it, but it is a lot. Alright, Val Power Cipher now has 25 crit multi per power charge instead of 10. Big. 50% critical strike chance per power charge instead of 20. Very big. 3 uses previously, 2 soul gain prevention, 2 seconds. Val Power Siphon is definitely one of my favorite Val skills. It's definitely in my top 5. Just because it looks really fucking cool. Val Spark is not buffed at all. It just has a 5-second soul prevention instead of 6. My baby! Give my baby some love. Come on. This one's my actual favorite, like number 1. Give my baby some love. Yeah, this reads as Val Spark is a skill we need to touch on, but if we mess with it even a little bit too much and we way too OP, let's be real careful. And it's just like, we'll just do the soul gain prevention thing on it. That's it. That's it. Don't change anything else. They scared. Alright, Val's Spectral Throw goes up to 170% instead of 135, which is cool. Fires 8 projectiles instead of 4. 15 souls instead of 10, so it actually costs more. And it has a duration of 4 seconds. And Val Stormcall now deals more damage, has slightly more effectiveness, and soul gain prevention 7 instead of 9. Okay. What Val skills are missing, Vela? I mean, the one I was waiting for, which was Val Summon Skeletons. I was... because minions? It's not on my list. Did they not change it at all? Glacial Hammer's also missing. Glacial Hammer will be receiving a 5% damage buff. All right. Support gems. Brutality now supports any skill that deals damage. Previously required the skill to hit an enemy. Huh. Huh. Cool. So that'll work with Reap, obviously. Alright. Alright, passive tree balance. The new Relentless and Veteran Soldier clusters have been added to... New Relentless and Veteran Soul clusters have been added to the southeast of Templar's starting location. I'm just checking if Path of Building has been updated real quick. Or if I have to go through that manual update thing that always happens. Ugh. We'll do that later then. We'll do that later then. Now this causes you to regenerate 1% of life if you've stunned an enemy recently and grants you 25% increased physical damage. Veteran Soldier gains 10% physical damage over time and plus 20 maximum life and 20% increased physical damage. Cool. New Vanquisher clusters have been added southwest of Templar's starting location, causing you to crush enemies for 4 seconds when you hit them while they're on full life. That's interesting. That's interesting. The Red Storm cluster has been removed and replaced with a new Vitality Extraction cluster. Causes you to recover 2% of your life on kill if you've spent life recently. Red Storm cluster. Oh. Okay, cool. 2% of your life if you've spent life recently grants 25% increased damage with skills that cost life, and life last gain 1 charge every 3 seconds. Okay. Okay. Small nodes in the star's starting location, which previously granted increased melee physical damage, are no longer restricted to melee only. Who's ever coming out there anyway? But I guess. Right, Born to Fight. Increased melee physical damage and increased melee attack speed modifiers are no longer restricted to melee only. Chainbreaker no longer causes excuse me. No longer causes you to lose 5 rage when you hit an enemy. No more than once every 0.3 seconds, but now causes skills to cost plus 3 rage. Which is then modified by support skills that you put in it, which is cool. Also, it's going to affect your movement skill as well. Oh, Chainbreaker is going to be rough. It might still work, but it's definitely going to be rough. Was wondering what happens when you run out of range. When you run out of range, you won't be able to use the skill, including your movement skill. Hardened Scars. No longer grants Fortify during the effect. Yep, instead while recovering life. Yep. Small node in the cluster previously granted increased cooldown recovery for stance skills. Now grants 10% reduced reservation for stance skills. Okay. Okay. Sure. Be like that. Power Hungry has been removed. Per diem has been moved to Glen Khan's. Added 2 small nodes which cause monsters sacrificed at ritual altars in area to gain 10% increased tribute. Okay. As secret lands which adds 10% increased area chance for area to contain ritual altars. Added paid in blood, which allows you to re-roll favors in area 2 additional times, while also granting 100% increased chance for ritual altars with special rewards. Cool. The Grove now grants the Grove's Call now grants 10% chance for area to contain Sacred Grove instead of 5. Ah, yes, that's what we needed. More reason to only run that one area. Clarified that the Bribery Atlas passive causes 200% more items to drop instead of 2 additional items. This is a purely descriptive change. Okay, cool. Trin's End. Exotic goods now cause a wiser selection of items to drop. Okay. Big Game now has 15% chance for Yellow Beast to be replaced with Red Beast, which previously 30. I feel like this could have stayed now that they've fixed the multi-boxing problem. Great Migration now has a 10% chance for areas with Iron Harm missions to contain additional packs of beasts instead of other monsters, previously 5%. Okay, so that one got better. Okay. Lex Proximia. Small harvest chance nodes have a 3% instead of 2% chance. Okay. Bumper Crop no longer causes harvested areas to have double bonus item quantity and rarity. Okay. Heart of the Grove no longer grants a 100% increased chance for areas to contain Heart of the Grove, but now causes harvest bosses in area to always drop a Sacred Blossom. Okay. Seance now possesses 5 rare monsters, previously 20. Sure. Packed with Energy now grants +1 to all maximum resistance for each Voltaxic, Sulfite, or chest in the area. Like as well as the other stuff? As well as the other stuff? Huh. Okay. Small Parenthese nodes now grant 10% chance to drop twice as many Parenthese coins, previously 20% increased stack size. Okay. Friend of the Family now causes Kadibro to offer the rarest of 3 options, previously 5. Okay. Escape Experiment now has a 50% chance for areas to contain a rogue metamorph, was previously 100%. Okay. Sure. Minor samples now cause metamorphs in area to deal 15% more damage, previously 50. In addition, now causes metamorphs in the area to have 150% more life, previously 100. I like that. That's good. Metamorphs in well-rolled Vald maps that deal 50% more damage were fucking dangerous. Real dangerous. Time Dilation now causes incursion monsters in areas to be at least magic rarity. Incursion Architects no longer drop an additional rare incursion item. Okay. Pathological now has a 5% chance to apply layers of delirium to maps found in area, was previously 10%. I mean, are they gonna... They're not gonna do anything to my map device with this patch notes, are they? Not my map device, my map tab. Please, the map tab is not fit to purpose. You're selling I have a product that doesn't do its job. Please. Please. Compulsive Hoarder now has a 10% chance to cause delirium encounters in the area to generate 3 additional rewards, previously 15. Cool. It's fine. Playing Cards. Cultural Advancement has been removed. Its effects now appear on time dilation. Right. And Lexajoris. Yep. Protracted Battle has moved to New Vestia. I don't recognize that one. Protracted Battle. I don't know what that does. Per diem has been added previously in Herlock Hamlet. Oh, it was the duration Legion. Cool. Right. That was why I don't remember its name. Rare Beyond Demons in area now have a 25% chance to drop an additional basic currency item, was previously 35%. Sure. High value targets has been added previously in New Vestir. It now grants Legion sergeants an additional 25% chance to hold the reward, no longer guaranteed. Torn Veil now grants 50% increase beyond portal merging radius, previously 100. Face to face no longer grants 100% more timeless splinters from Legion generals in area. Just at all? Like, it's not like, oh, it grants 50% instead of 100. You just took that off. That feels a bit odd. Okay. Sure. High value targets have been moved to Glen Khan's. Protracted battle has been added previously. Alright, so they swapped those to Voltive Horde? I don't know if I said that right at all. Now has a 20% chance for Abyssal Troves in area to drop rare items with Abyssal sockets. Previously 10%. It no longer increases the level of Abyssal Troves. Do you know how hard it is to find a rare item that's usable on the ground? Abyssal sockets are... Okay. Whatever. Sulfite Haunting monsters spawned in the Sulfite Sentinels are now more dangerous but also more rewarding. Cool. Out of the blue now has a 20% chance for Sulfite veins and chests in areas to also contain an equal amount of Azurite. Previously 5%. Voltive Horde. Now a 20% chance for Abyssal Troves in area to drop a rare item with an Abyssal socket. Voltive Horde is currently at 100% and GGG doesn't even know it. Yep. That wouldn't surprise me. I never took that node even once, so I don't know. But okay. Moving on. Out of the blue, 20%. Oh yeah, we did that. Total Anarchy now causes areas to have a 10% chance to contain 20 additional rogue exiles. Previously added 1 rogue exile per 2 additional content types in the area. Well, that's a buff. Overall. That could be entertaining. Rogue Trainer now has a 50% chance for a wild rogue exile to have additional rewards. Previously 15%. However, it now causes them to have 200% increased maximum life. Okay. Alright. Valdo's Rest. Diplomatic Escort now replaces 1 Harbinger with a King Harbinger instead of a group of Harbingers. I don't know what the fuck that means. Gut Instinct now provides 5 intelligence for the current safe house when a Mortal Syndicate is not interrogated, previously 3. The last guy at the end of Breachheads is a king. Oh. Huh. Interesting. I don't know how to feel about that. I will take the node and see how I feel about it. But I don't know how I feel about that. I generally don't like standing around forever. This is definitely a performance increase. Excuse me. This is definitely a performance increase. I don't know how I feel about that. Natural selection no longer makes rare beasts quite as common. Cool. Immune response now causes blight monsters to spawn 150% faster. Previously 100%. Man, they're really pushing blights. Like real hard. I guess we're all running blighted maps this league. Spores on the wind now cause maps found in areas that have 5% chance to have areas contain additional blight encounter instead of 10%. Last breach now causes breaches to open 50% faster, previously 100. Did that need enough? Neural pathways now grants a 1% chance, previously 0.05% chance for a synthesis map to drop from unique bosses in tier 14 plus maps, previously tier 11 plus. That is a very big buff. That is a very big buff. All right, moving on. Gladiator just moved to damage over time instead of bleeding. Berserker 10% physical damage instead of 12% attack physical damage. Pain revisit Defy with replaced with Defy Pain. Divine Pain gain Defiance 10 seconds after losing life to an enemy, no more than once every 0.3 seconds. 25% armor per Defiance, 50% increased maximum total life recovery per second from leech while you have to 50%. At 10 Defiance, take reflect physical damage equal to maximum life, then lose all defense. You fucking what? At 10 Defiance, take reflected physical damage equal to maximum life, then lose all Defiance. You what? I mean, I know that's before mitigation. That's before mitigation, like, right? And they're giving you a bunch of armor. You're gonna have like a lot of armor before, but also, what? Just become reflect immune? I guess. Oh, wait. I know the solution. We do exactly what we already do. Don't play Berserker. Problem solved. Moving on. Assassin now grants 15% more damage with hits and ailments instead of 25, because low life is 50% instead now. Somebody who's a math god, tell me whether that's a buff or a nerf or a balance that keeps me even. I don't even know. Gladiator stuff just changed to physical damage over time. Nerf, it's a small nerf. Okay. Elementalists. It's no longer possible to temporarily bypass your golem limit. Yep, that's fine. How is this the only thing? How is that the thing that got hit from Elementalists? Are you guys kidding me? Like, really? That's the thing? Elementalist is so screwed next league. Like, not the one that's coming, but like the next time we get patch notes, I expect Elementalist to get dumpstered. Like, gone. Necromancer now causes you to regenerate 4% of mana over 2 seconds instead of 8. Cool. Master Surgeon now removes corrupted blood when you use a flask. This is all I didn't even use that node. Oh. Sexy. The Archmage ones do? Yep. They do. And I'm sure that that matters to them. I'm getting away scot-free here. It's great. Right, item balance. The Orb of Binding has been added into the core drop pool and can be obtained from various sources throughout the game. Please, for the love of God, let this start dropping in Act 3. Like when you could, as soon as you can naturally get 4 links, I want this to be able to drop. Doesn't have to be common, just able to drop. I like the suggestion of making it a guaranteed drop from Val Oversoul. I'd be very happy with that, except that we do 4-man Val Oversoul. Is it going to drop me 4 or do I get 1? All right, let's move it on. Moving on. The Sacrifice Guard body armor is now +1 to level of all Val skill gems, which is a very good implicit to have. The enemies you kill explode, dealing % of their life as physical damage modifiers no longer appear on Crusader and Synthesis implicits. To replace it, its enemies killed have X% chance to explode. What chance? What chance? God damn it. Quivers can no longer roll anything fun for non-bow builds, and we didn't fix bows to make them good, so we just don't use quivers anymore. Hunter influence quivers can no longer roll. It doesn't matter. We're still not using quivers. Bye. There's an elevator mod got leaked and I can tell. Maybe after. After this. Corruption outcome of quivers +1 chain is just arrows. Cool. Can no longer craft physical damage converted to damage or modifiers, which already have that modifier of that type present. Okay. Physical damage over time multiplier has been added as a prefix modifier for wands and staves. But not bows? But not bows. This was your chance to save bleed bows. Did you not save bleed bows? Did you not save bleed bows? So same thing with these 50% conversion gloves. Don't believe everything you read. They've already on 3 separate occasions told us we won't be able to make 50% conversion gloves one way or another in patch notes, and we still make them. So like, we're still just, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Pretend it doesn't exist. You'll be fine. If you needed 50% gloves, you can still make them. Don't worry about it. Physical damage over... I can't believe they didn't save bows. I can't believe they didn't save bows. I was waiting for this, and I expected it to say bows. Bleed bows are dead? Are bleed bows dead? I hope they're not. Alright. Physical damage over time multiplier can now be rolled on cobalt jewels, could previously only be rolled on... Okay, sure. Elder influence weapon modifier against 60% chance for poisons to inflict with this weapon deal 100% more damage has been removed. In its place, Elder influence weapons can now roll a local poison damage over time multiplier modifier. Okay. Maybe. Okay. Same for bleed. Under influence modifier that granted increased damage over time, damage with poison has been removed. A new modifier that grants chaos damage over time has been added in its place. Okay. Sure. The Warlord influence modifier An increased damage over time with bleeding has been removed. New physical damage over time multiplier, sure. Elder and Shaper influenced rings can no longer roll increased melee damage, increased projectile damage, or increased spell damage modifiers as suffixes. Alrighty then. Sextant modifier, which granted players deal... Sextant modifier, which grants players deal X% increased damage for X poison on them. Players have X% increased movement speed for each poison on them. An area contains X amount of packs of poisonous monsters have been removed. That needed to go. I'm very happy. Very happy. That needed to go. Watchstones that did not have sexist modifiers applied to them can be imprinted once again. Okay. Okay. Imprinted items do not get split. Split items get split. Imprinted items can just be rolled and returned. Insert video footage here of me casually buying all the imprint beasts for the first 2 weeks while no one notices until they go up in price a lot. Anyway, you can no longer obtain the area has plus 2% chance grant Atlas mission on completion modifier from titanium watchstones, but the +4 and +6 versions of this modifier can still be obtained. What? You what, sir? Okay. Sure. If they removed one bad roll, cool. Flask can no longer be obtained from the Fateful Meaning div card. I'm not even sure what that div card is. Unique blight items that have been anointed now show their passive skill information when hovered. Didn't they already? Whatever. The of Treasures modifier on strong boxes now grants 100 to 250% more rarity of contained items. Previously 1000 to 200%, 2000% rarity. Okay. Sure. Forbidden Woods and Silent Map can no longer roll twin modifiers. Yeah, so it's more 250% more rarity instead of 2000% increased rarity. But okay. Essence changes. Right, we're not reading all the numbers on each one of these. We're going to skim it to see if anything's really good. Chance to avoid ignite rolls up to 44% instead of 34%. I imagine that's on everything that's chance to whatever. Essence of Contempts are what, like 10-12% stronger. That's cool. Dread is now Impale Infect instead. Little more armor from all of those. Nothing super important here. Read the top one. You skipped the top one. Oh, Screaming Essences can now be used to reforge rare items in addition to... Oh, nice. Okay, cool. That's cool. I like that. I like that. Yeah, looks like all the chance to avoid ones have gone up to 44 instead of 34. It's cool. More flat energy shield from our essences. Not a lot though. Used to be 83 to 92 and now it's 88 to 95. That's 3 more. Cool, I guess. Totem placement speed on chests. Warcry speed on helmets. Okay, sure. Essence of Deliriums, damage over time multiplier on amulets, 25% increased effective mark on quivers, whatever. Oh, rings can get +5 maximum doom. That could be cool. %15% chance to block spell damage while on low life. That's interesting. Weapon modifiers that cause your hits to decay now deal 700 damage instead of 500. Okay. Chill when you block as a larger radius. No one cares. Hysteria. Whatever. Socketed gems deal 30% more damage while on low life. Cool. I want to open that before the servers go down. Boom, open. Thank you all. Didn't realize the servers were going down. Block shields, we don't care. Essence of Hysteria gives 25% increased effect on a body armor, is pretty cool. 25% is a decent amount. Huh. The weapon modifier now always casts Fireball on hit, a Fire Burst on hit, previously 10%. Fire Burst now has a 1 second cooldown instead of half a second, is a 6% base crit instead of 5, has a damage effectiveness of 340% instead of 130, and has a base radius of 24 instead of 15. And its base damage is 2,288 instead of 1,055. Okay.
Welcome.
It's still on a 1 second cooldown, so it can only go off once every second. It can't be your entire build. But it can be a decent part of a build. Right, I know you can get CDR build gear, but you know. And a 100%, like a guaranteed proc. Because it was a 10% chance to proc and now it just procs. Very interesting. Now grants you and your minions take 40% reduced reflect damage on ring crafts. Kind of cool. Spectral spirits summoned by the weapon modifier now deal 32% more damage. Kind of cool. Okay, Abyssal Jewels. Let's jump straight to the ones I care about. Physical damage 24. Is that slower? It is lower. It was 26. It was 22 to 26. Now it's 20 to 24. The fuck? They nerfed my minion jewel. Cold damage up to 34 instead of 26. I mean, I have to math that out, but I think that's still a buff and that I just end up using the cold damage one instead of the physical damage one. I think that's just a buff. I just use cold damage instead of fizz. Because fizz was getting added and then converted. Lightning one up to 51. Yo. Huh. Minions regenerate 30 life per second instead of 12. That's still a dud roll that does nothing. Okay. Oh, shit. Chance to avoid all of the things rolls up to 20% now. Yo. Yo. Okay. Okay. Increased effect of cold ailments is up. Lightning ailments is up. Chaos damage to attacks got brought way up. Which is good. You can get up to 4 mana per second instead of 3. 20 life per second instead of 12. 20 energy shield per second. Okay, cool. Okay. Oh god. Oh god, there's so much. Right, cluster jewels. Let's see if we can bang out the cluster jewels. New cluster jewel notable, 14% fizz multi and 20 strength. Cool. New cluster jewel notable, phlebotomist. 14% damage over time multi and 20% critical strike. Cool. Cluster jewel notables. Aerodynamic now grants 10% projectile speed, previously 20. Rip. Brand loyalty is now 4% damage for attached brand instead of 5. Dark disclosure is now 6% increased effective curse from 10. Are you sure? Are you sure? Plus the notable exposure therapy is now 8 damage over time multi instead of 10. First among equal now grants 6% increase of non-curse auras, previously 8. Are you guys okay? Are you okay? Brand design now grants 10% instead of 20 brand attachment range. Yep. Definitely fuck up brand attachment range more. That's the problem. Cluster jewel. Aerofridge now is 15% damage over time ailments instead of 20. Right, unless crit. Cool. Magnifier no longer gives 10% area damage. Yeah, that'll help. Friend now grants 12% damage over time multiplier for bleeding. Oh, no longer grants and instead grants. Yep, okay. Renewal now causes minions to 5% chance to double damage while alert for life instead of 6. That's fine. No problem. Replenishing presence now grants 6% increased effective non-curse auras from your skills, previously 8. Are you fucking kidding me? It's going to be better to roll jewels with nothing on them. No notable. Literally better to roll jewels with no notables. Are they okay? It might not actually be true, but I'm just still come on. Do you know how hard it is to make this build work? Stop fucking hammering it into the ground. It's done. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Stop. Bad. Stop touching. Snowstorm now causes you to gain 8% of lightning as extra cold instead of 10. Duel at commander. Determination, Dissident, Grace to have 15% aura effect instead of 20. Streamline grants 20% projectile speed instead of 30. Cool. 8% crit multi with traps of mines, previously 10. That's mine damage now penetrates. 4% resistances, previously 5. Cluster jewel notable temple arrowheads now causes bow skills to have 10% increased duration, previously 20. 3% increased area of effect per power charge up to 50%, previously uncapped. Vengeful Commander, Anger, Hatred, and Wrath to 15% aura effect instead of 20. Cluster jewel notable Wickled Pal, 30% increased chaos damage instead of 35. 5% increased skill effect duration instead of 10. Widespread notable grants 6% area of effect instead of 10. Just okay, hot take. Everything on this entire list is complete garbage and shouldn't have been done. But also they shouldn't have nerfed clusters the way they nerfed them last time either. And the solution was way simpler and way more obvious. And they just refused to do it because of, I don't know why, but at least in my opinion, notables shouldn't stack. If you just had it so that you could only have one of each notable, you would be able to have meaningful notables, because you can't have 9 of them. You have to pick different ones, and then it would be fine. And then you could still have powerful, interesting notables to put on your tree to augment the tree how you like and make decisions, rather than just slowly chipping away at them until such time as you no longer use them at all because they're more bad than they were on just taking nodes that are already on the tree. It's really easy. It's really simple. Just notables don't stack, and then they can be strong and interesting, but you don't get to stack them. It's that simple. This whole thing, this is the 3rd or 4th time they've nerfed cluster jewels, and they just keep making them less and less worth, and eventually they'll knock them off to the point where you don't use them at all, but nothing interesting has happened. On any of the nerfs, they haven't changed anything in a meaningful way. It hasn't become interesting at all. We've just reassessed which ones are the best ones with the new nerf in, and then just put that one in as many times as you can. Nothing changed. There's still no choice, no thought involved in it. Whereas if you make them not stackable, now I have to decide which ones I want. Obviously, this one's the best, so I'm going to put it here. But I've got 9 notables in my tree that I could pick from, so what do I do now? Maybe I find 2 more that are really good, and then I find 3 more that are okay, and then I look at it and I'm like, I don't really want 3 more, so maybe I don't use those. Maybe I don't put the voices up here that was going to be the 3 more cluster jewels, and maybe I do something on the tree instead. It's thought process involved. Choices. Maybe it shouldn't be the default that every build should have 2 or 3 clusters. Maybe there should be a point where you go, do I want another cluster, Or do I want to take these nodes on the tree rather than can I fit another cluster in? Because if I can, the answer is yes, right? I like when they give us choices, not take them away. And this is just slowly taking away choices, just slowly over time, when all they needed to do was just make it not stack. That's my take on cluster jewels anyway. Moving on. Oil changes. I literally don't care. I'm not going to read through these oil changes. These are just oil changes for blight maps. Read teal. Along causes a variety of items contained in 5 chests to be lucky. Blight monsters in areas spawn 25% faster and the counter 40 seconds shorter. Cool. 3 of them on every map. Let's go. Make them quick. Knock them out. I feel like I'm not going to read through this because I find blighted maps incredibly fucking boring. I know some people love them, but I don't. I really don't. I just don't enjoy them. Maybe they'll be different with all the changes. I'll give them another shot, but Opalescent causes 15 blight chests to be lucky. Wow. Oh god, crafted veiled modifiers. Okay. Everything is slightly better? No, damage over time multis are slightly worse. It's fine, just slightly. Hybrid stats are better. Life, mana, energy shield. Everything's slightly better. Brain attachment range is slightly better. Non-channeling skills has been nerfed. 30% chance to avoid ailments. Instead of 25 to 35, it's 20 to 30. Same for a chance to be stunned. 90% increased effective fortify while focused instead of 120. Trigger to socketed spells when you use a skill with an 8-second cooldown, previously 4 seconds. Okay. I mean, I guess for me personally, I don't give a shit, but that does change some things. That does change quite a few things. Like if you were going to be using Wave of Conviction or Frost Bomb, I'm probably not going to bother putting Frost Bomb into my weapon on Spectres. If it's only going to go to 1 every 8 seconds, I'm probably never going to use it. It'll never land on the boss by accident. But yeah, look, if your build gets so negatively affected by this that it actually like proper hurts your build, then just throw in Arcanist Brand and don't use Trigger. Like if it's a problem for your build, you're now using Arcanist Brand to chain all your things and you just don't trigger it. It's fine. If you're a minion build, you're still just going to auto trigger whatever you want. Many unique items that were league specific now been added to the core drop pool. Death's aura skill granted by Death's body armor is now 758 instead of 536. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, hello, beautiful. Hello. I like it. Lure of the Wild unique claw now has a 20% chance. Summon spectrals on a critical strike. So it's just level 25 spectral wolves instead of level 20. Okay. Infernal Mantle unique body armor now causes you to take 15% increased spell damage when on low life. Okay. Previously 25. Sure. Did Blade Blast get nerfed too hard, or is it fine? No. Blade Blast could be nerfed by that much a second time and it would still be fine. Spell damage. When on low mana. Right. Whatever. Gluttony unique melt now has a level requirement of 68, previously 8. Change was introduced unintentionally in 3.1 3.0. Okay. Okay. Null's Inclination. For all the people that are asking like random questions that aren't about right what I'm looking at here, you're probably going to get ignored till we get through the patch notes, or it'll take me like 8 years. I'm not answering random questions that aren't to do with this right now. Right. Gluttony unique belt. Nope. Null's Inclination unique bow now causes minion spells triggered by it to have a 0.25 second cooldown with 5 uses. Previously no cooldown. Minions now deal 1% increased damage per 5 dexterity. Huh. When they say 5 uses, I'm not sure that I know what that means exactly. Sort of like flame dash charges, but we call those charges rather than uses. And if they are charges, is the 0.25 second cooldown the amount that it takes to get that charge back? And if it is, can we make Null's Inclination into an actual thing that we might use? Because that would be fun. I'd like to. I don't know if it'd be like great, but it'd be fun. Molten Burst skill granted by Namahu's Flame unique axe now fires 3 projectiles instead of 2. Yo! Okay. Alright. Namahu back on the menu? Is Namahu back? I think Namahu's back. Alright. Replica Class unique claw now grants 25% attack speed while on low life instead of 50. Sure. The Brain Surge skill granted by the Witch Hunter's Juggernaut unique staff now deals approximately 20% more damage with overcharged brand and now activates 35% faster, previously 25%. 25% and every one. I don't even know what the fuck that is. I've literally never used this. I think Shad's used it once and kind of liked it. I can't remember what it was. There's bad stuff, there's shabby stuff. For those who are familiar with this stuff, do you think that's enough to save it, or are we going, nope, still garbage? Saved or trash? Trash, still trash. My problem with this is staff. All right, trash still is the consensus. Cool. I don't really know anything about this particular thing. Added the 5th variant of the Vessel of the Vinctar, which grants 40% increased shock effect during flask effect and causes shock to spread to other enemies in a radius of 20 during flask effect. Impulsor chains, let's go. Who wants to use an explode chest anyway when you can just put an impulsor on? It does the job. Let's go. Let's go. Impulse is expansive this league, by the way. Nice. Damage conversion variants of Vessel of the Vinctar now cause 50% of physical damage to be converted to lightning during flask effect. Previously 20%. Nice. Added lightning damage to spells variant now grants up to 130. Used to be 90. Also pretty nice. Also pretty nice. Okay, cool. The Vigil unique jewel now grants Fortify with a base duration of 8 seconds instead of 12. Yep. We got Ziri's Rain unique jewel now causes Val skills to have a 15 to 20% chance to regain consumed souls when used, and now has a limit of 1. Rigwold's Quill no longer has the fork modifier. It's been replaced by an arrow's fork modifier. Right, okay. Whatever. Signal File Quiver no longer has physical damage added as it's been replaced by physical attack damage. Right, yep. Okay. Incursion unique changes. Okay. Apep Slumber is now on a Val Spirit base. Up to 80 damage instead of 37 for raw chaos damage. That's quite nice. Cause you to regenerate 80 energy shield per second per poison on you. Previously 50. Up to 400 per second. Previously 250. Interesting. Interesting. Coward's Chain. You now count as on full life while you were cursed with vulnerability. Can you be on full life and on half low life at the same time now? What happens if you're on low life and on full life? What are you? What are you doing? What's happening when you're on both? Anyway. Spirit Drinker is now Magister Crown base. More energy shield, and more life. Okay. Cool. Alright, interesting stuff, Dance of the Offered. I don't know what that is, but it now grants Agnostic and no longer causes you to lose mana. Wait, is that the trap shield? Boot? Wait, what is that? I've never used this item before in my life. It's the Onslaught Boots. Right. Well, not anymore. Gives you agnostic though, which could be cool. It'll be that's interesting. Okay. Story of the Val is now a gem sword unique base. Now grants some life on kill. Causes them to freeze and shock as if dealing 200%. Ignite as if dealing 75% more. Now grants 210% physical damage. I don't know if this base is a better or worse base than it was before, but yeah, no longer grant life on kill is fine. I just don't know if this base sword is a better or worse base than what it came from, because we've got like 900 bases in this game and I just can't remember them all. Sacrificial Heart is no longer causes you to gain a power charge when you use a Val skill. Now causes you to gain up to your maximum power charges when you use a Val skill. Right, okay. It's a better base. They're all bases a bit nice. Okay, cool. Oh, Architect's Hand is now an ambushment base. Nice. Now grants 250% increased evasion and energy shield instead of 125. No longer causes skills used by traps to have 20% area of effect, but now grants a 4 to 6% chance to throw up to 4 additional traps. Okay. That's a very low chance. That's a very low chance. Am I the only one that would love it to be like to throw 1 additional trap but have like 24% chance instead? Like that would just like in the long term be an equal amount but be far more reliable as you throw things out. That's just a very small chance. It's just a very small, unless you can stack that in other places. That's kind of garbage. I would rather something like a 50% chance to throw 1 additional trap. Right? That would be cool. Or even get rid of the chance and do something like every second time. Right? So it's not a chance. It's you throw one, it doesn't get an extra one. You throw one, it does. Doesn't, does. Doesn't, does. That would be fine. Right? Anyway. Moving on. Monster changes. The final boss in each act has had their drops reworked. They now drop both more and better items, so that they can be profitably farmed if desired. We'll see. We'll see. I hope that that's true. I hope that that's true. I want it to be true. Let's say it's true, and we'll all get excited for it. And then if it ends up being still complete garbage, then we've all been let down. So that's I'm going in. I'm all in. Full send. I'm excited about that. That'll be good. Full send. Go. Base life of harvest monsters has been reduced by 50%. However, the harvest machinery grants monsters around 100% increased average life. The intent here is to keep the life values of the monsters spawned by harvest count approximately the same as they were before, but significantly lower the value of the desecrated version of these monsters to bring them in line with extra desecrated tables. Please note that Primal Blister Lords and Primal Clutch Claws have had their life reduced by a greater percentage as a result of this change. Get fucked. Everybody's fucked. From head to toe, you're all nerfed. I'm nerfed, you're nerfed, he's nerfed, she's nerfed, they're nerfed, everybody's nerfed. Oh. The allies cannot die aura has been removed. Please, you could just end the sentence there. If I don't read the rest of it, they can't fuck up that note, right? We can just move on. If I just don't read the rest of it, it's fantastic, right? Please don't fuck that up for me. Okay. This is great. To replace this, we have a new Benevolent Guardian. Nemesis modifier has been added, which causes the monsters with this modifier applied an immunity buff to nearby allies for a short duration. If the original monster is slain, allies affected lose the immunity buff. Other monsters that have this Nemesis modifier cannot be given an immunity buff. Okay, so just first of all, what is the short duration? Second, what is the cooldown of their ability? And I guess those are the only two I have, because if it's like a short duration, it's like 4 seconds, but the cooldown on their abilities is 3 seconds, then it's functionally exactly the same as it was, right? So I need to know that to start with. But even if that is the case, at least it's only a Nemesis map, so I guess I can get over it. It's still better. That's still better. No matter what, that's still better, right? The worst case scenario is that we only encounter them in Nemesis maps, so we get them way less often than we used to. And anything better than that is just an extra plus, so I guess I'm on board. We've definitely moved in the right direction. Excuse me. I definitely feel like this could have been just the only line and they didn't need to replace it with anything. That could have just, that would have been fine. That would have been fine, just like that. But this is still good. This is still better. Okay. All right. All right. Rare monsters dominated by Cirrus had their attack, cast, and move speed lowered. Oh, I guess it's time for the mobs to get fucked too. I told you, everybody gets fucked this league. Even the mobs. Even the mobs get fucked this league. Everyone's done. Zetso Hungering Flame no longer uses his ultimate Molten Strike skill. Even our beyond mobs are getting nerfed. Even the beyond mobs are getting nerfed. The Bullthorn skill used by the Lieutenant of Range in the Labyrinth and the Crusher of Gladiators in the Racecourse map has been visually updated and no longer has damage reflection. Oh, come on. Come on. That had a super obvious reflect aura. Seeing people's deaths there was hilarious. It was super predictable. It was easily avoidable. Why would you get rid of that? You're not going to get rid of stuff like quills that just kill you from off screen in the middle of nowhere in one shot. But you're going to get rid of the thing that can kill you if you personally make a mistake. If you personally do a dumb, then you die. That we're going to get rid of. But we're going to leave bullshit on death effects that you can't control. Really? Really? Yeah, that's the Ice Guy and Lab and the Centaur kind of thing in Racecourse map. In keeping with the current development philosophies, being able to choose whether or not to hit a reflect mob is too deterministic and has been removed. That I don't understand why you would take that. This was a thing where you had to actively screw up yourself. You had to make a mistake to die. No, they already fixed the racecourse in Maven fight mid-league though. Like that's already solved. They just made him not do that one move in the Maven fight. So that was never... That was never... Well, they did? Yeah, they did. After someone died in hardcore over it, but they fixed it. So this is a nothing. Val Pyramid and Arcade map have had their health increased closer in line with other bosses. Cool, whatever. Right, Zana mods. We've got Fortune Favors the Brave, Essence, Breach, Bloodlines, Ambush, Harbinger, Heist, and Harvest 12C. Harvest is dead. I'm never coming back. They ruined the game. He's harvest on the map device, dickhead. In reality, I'm probably going to be taking I don't know, strong boxes or bloodlines. These are all pretty bad. Like, probably taking them. I don't know. Maybe just 8% quant is just take nothing and just have your 8% quant. Maybe that's the best move here. These are all really bad. Let's be honest, we're all heisting. I will not enter heist all league. Heist is the most boring and garbage tier content they have ever introduced into the game ever. And I am never entering it again. I'm really happy that other people don't feel the same way as me, because I do want to buy replica uniques and alternate quality gems. I really do. I really want to buy them, so I'm very happy that there are people around who disagree with me, because I will pay fucking anything to not have to run that content. It's garbage and I don't want to do it. I'm glad other people enjoy it. You guys continue. I will pay you for the things. I do not want to do it. Okay. Arbus for 12C is too good not to run. I mean, your money wise, it'll probably be the best option. Yes. Also, I really hate selling my crafts. I don't really enjoy it, but it'll probably be the best option. Right. User interface. The epilogue section of the world screen, you now contains a section for Conquest and Maven questline. Cool. Conquerors of the Atlas questline is now expandable like the Maven quest is. Cool. Pack gems no longer deal. This information can be found near the top of the descriptor and hovering the gem. Sure, whatever. A single item can now be unstacked from a stack of items on your cursor by pressing shift left click. That's really useful. Copying item's description with Control C now also copies the item class. Pressing Control Alt C now copies the advanced modified description on an item. Ooh. Control clicking on Jun Veiled Master now brings up the unveiled item interface. Nice. It always should have. Good. Added a file cache directory UI option, which can be used to change the directory of where cached files in the game are stored. Oh, Pog. I don't think this will matter to me because I've got the whole game installed on an SSD, but this will matter a lot if you've got a computer where you didn't have enough room on an SSD. So you had to install it on a normal one, but your like Windows SSD still has like a little bit of room. You could point your cache files there and that would help a bit. And that would be cool. Move the list of item filters in the UI closer to the top of the UI options menu. Yes. Yes, please. Yes, please. When you say closer to the top, do you mean when I open it, it will be there, or am I still going to have to scroll? Because if I still have to scroll, it's exactly the same. I really hope you mean that it's just there when I open it. It just needs to be there when I open it, not like halfway down. In fact, halfway down would be worse, because at least with it at the bottom, I can just go straight down to the bottom and there it is. If it's like somewhere in the middle, that'll actually be worse. Please be like on the front page. Okay. Oh, please. Oh, I'm laughing so I don't cry, please. You can now use exclamation point as a prefix to a term, such as exclamation mark unique or sword exclamation mark increased physical damage. Yo! To filter results in a search field, such as your stash, to display the results that don't contain the specific search term. Oh, so exclamation point is not. So you can say not unique sword, looking for a sword that's not unique in here. Okay. All right. I mean, I don't pick up items, so who cares? But that'd be good for everyone else. Quick, who had Baylor doesn't pick up items on the bingo card? You win. Improve the solo self-found migration warning, sure. Filters for the influenced items can now be found under the pseudo stat filters on the trade window, and it has shaper influence. Okay, cool, whatever. So they've moved that around a little bit. Quest rewards. Exsanguinate is now offered to sign for the science cadence. Corrupting fever is Marauder Duelist Scion from Intruders in Black. Okay, so that's where that comes from. Petrified Blood is now from Lost in Love. Okay. Reap is now from Sever the Right Hand. Huh. Alright. Bloodthirst is from A Fixture of Fate. Cruelty from Sharp and Cruel. I wasn't expecting that. Arrogance from A Fixture of Fate. Life Tap by the Arcade Brute. Yeah, the support version of Blood Magic is still at library, but other versions of Blood Max are right there. That's kind of cool. All right, cool. PvP changes. No one cares. Bye. All right. Bug fixes. Fixed the bug where the Marvin button on the map device needed to be deactivated for encounters. If the Maven was not interested in the area, these encounters can now be opened without the button needing to be deactivated. Great. Great. Because I always forgot to reactivate it after I have to turn it on. Maven, damn it. Maven. Right. I always forgot to turn it back on, and I would go and run like 8 more maps that I wanted to be witnessed, and I would miss all of them. So I'm happy about that. Fixed the bug where the Maven could sometimes fail to leave a map after killing the boss encounter had been completed. Fixed a bug where cast and damage support could sometimes trigger certain skills that were not linked to it. Sorry? It could what now? Cast and damage taken support could sometimes trigger certain skills that were not linked to it. It did what? It did what? And since when? Okay. Fixed a bug where Infernal Legion support was not being affected by damage over time multipliers. Yes, it was. Okay. Weird. Fixed a bug where it was sometimes possible for non-melee hits from melee skills to grant Fortify. Does that mean like, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Fixed a bug where Kinetic Bolt dealing more damage than intended to enemies at a specific distance. Fixed a bug where Body Slap could deal less damage than intended when targeting a corpse. Who the fuck was using Body Swap to even find that? Zana missions could sometimes offer black maps that couldn't be activated. Didn't know that was happening. Organ's Benchcraft removed catalyst quality when upgrading amulets to talismans. Oh no, we didn't want that. Fixed a bug where Scorching Ray totems did not stack their damage correctly with other Scorching Ray totems. Okay. Fixed a bug where increased effective non-damaging ailment modifiers was being applied twice. I didn't know that was happening, but I like it. I like it. Ulcia's Delight unique belt wasn't correctly applying the more effective non-damaging ailments per affliction charge. Ulcia's? Ulcia's. 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 Whatever the fuck it is. One of those. Fixed a bug where monsters and chests in area and drop item with +1 item level was causing more items to drop with +1 item levels than intended. Okay. Alright. Fixed a bug where Fan of Blades notable could stop functioning if an affected gem was socketed or unsocketed. Yikes. Guardian of the Hydra boss could become invincible during a ritual with the Maven's Crucible encounter. Ooh. Okay. Fixed a bug where additional physical damage reduction modifiers were missing the physical tag. Cool. Chaos damage leeches life were missing a chaos tag. Fixed a bug where some modifiers on the Gluttony unique belt were missing tags. Fixed a bug where losing Onslaught that was granted by the Guardian's Radiant Crusade Ascendancy passives could remove Onslaught buffs from other sources. Fixed a bug where you could lose the Deadeye's Tailwind buff from Gathering Wind Ascendancy passive if you gained Tailwind from another source. Fixed a bug where Plague Bearers... Fixed a bug where Plague Bearer couldn't be supported by item rarity support? This is a buff. This is a buff. Plague Bearer now goes in a 4-link, boys. Let's go. Item rarity all the time. Item rarity all the time. Let's go. Right. Fixed a bug where Frost Shield was not correctly counting as a chilled area. Fixed a bug where hovering over blighted maps could incorrectly show the Maven holding a recreation of the map's boss. Okay. Fixed a bug where Veterans Awareness Keystone was incorrectly granting chaos resistance. That's not a notable. Must be a cluster notable. Okay. Fixed a bug where the Trader's Keystone wasn't working correctly while you're under the effect of a flask. Fixed a bug where the Witch Hunter's Juggernaut unique staff where Brand Surge could fail to explode your brands if they were supported by totems, traps, or mines. Okay. Alrighty then. Fixed a bug where Mother's Embrace unique belt where minions weren't correctly consuming flask enchantments. Okay. Fixed a bug where the Grave through map could sometimes spawn coffins after it died. Trough. Okay. Grave Trough map could sometimes spawn coffins after it died. Fixed a bug where the final betrayal encounter in an area could sometimes fail to occur. Fixed a bug where alert level increases every 10 seconds. Heist modifier wasn't working. Fixed a bug where Exalted Holy Relic microtransaction had a slightly longer cooldown than intended on its Nova skill. Yo, actual pay to lose. Actual pay to lose. Fixed a bug where the alternate quality effect on Phantasmal Unearth wasn't working properly. Fixed a bug where the alternate quality effect of Phantasmal Cremation wasn't correctly counting corpse explosion by it as consumed. Sure. Fixed a visual bug where the alternate quality description wasn't showing for Anomalous Detonate Dead and for Flame Blast. Fixed a visual bug where applying the remnants of corruption to monsters trapped in essences sometimes wouldn't show the corrupted status if you had a control corrupt and Atlas Keystone node allocated. Cool. Fixed the visual bug with the Solaris Throne decoration had lost its shine. Cool. We don't care about anything else here, I don't think. Nope. All right. Done. Recent updates. Val skill gems can now only be obtained by methods such as corrupting gems, but I just assumed that. Right. Corrupting gems wasn't in the original line. We just assumed that. That's fine. Efficacy support can now be purchased from Nessa by the Marauder after cleaning the closed gate. Okay. This patch note was incorrect and has been removed. Oh, okay. Why? Every class should be able to buy every gem at its appropriate level. Every class should be able to buy every gem at the appropriate level. Reward me the ones that are thematic to my class. Let all of the gems at the appropriate level be available at the vendor. All right? Stop with this shit. All of them at the vendor. Reward me the quest items that are meant to be for my thematic class. Let me do off-meta weird shit. Right? I think, yeah, my favorite solution is the first time you get to finishing all 10 acts, you should get some Lily Roth or someone like Lily Roth in your hideout and put in every single town that, as you do the quests on that character, unlocks those gems from everywhere that you could do, right? Like some gem vendor like that exists that it gets unlocked on your account like Scion does. So the first time you finish all 10 acts, you unlock that and you can do it from then on. Forever. Not like a per league thing, but forever. That would be cool. Otherwise, I'm a big fan of this from head to toe. I know some people are definitely going to hate me for it because like everybody got dicked down, like everyone. Like they dicked down everyone from head to toe, softcore trade to hardcore solo self-found. Everyone got hit. And I don't know, those are fun. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I don't know what you're gonna do now. We're all gonna find out together. Burn it all down. Let's go. Yep. I'm excited. Let's go.